am super excited to have Oliver on. You guys are recognizing, you're looking at him like, man, this guy looks familiar. The only difference is he's not wearing a country western shirt this time. And we all know the story behind that. But Oliver, welcome back to the Nifty Thrifty group.
Thanks for having me again.
Like, hey, it was a very stylish country western shirt, and it was country western day at the dental festival. That's why he's just like that. But honestly, if he was in Texas, he'd look like just any other guy, right? Like everyone's wearing that stuff, literally. Okay, so I have you on, and people are looking at that post, and they're like reading, make it easy for your team to present payment options. Make it easy for patients to pay you. Make it easy to get money owed to you. Yes, it's a real thing. But, before we talk about all the cool platforms that you can use to do that, I mean, Oliver, we're living in some really, really interesting times, right? Where people have a lot of options when it comes to employment, right? I mean, you can do Uber Eats, you can drive an Uber, you can do a lot of things at home. You can do almost everything besides actually go in and work in an office and whatnot. Talk about the challenges you've seen in dentistry when it comes to like staffing issues.
Yeah, we're seeing it across all dentistry and all the specialties, and it's understandable. I mean, people are already doing this across all industries, but honestly, the grind that is, working in a dental practice, can be intense. And, you're working in the mouth. There's lots of great gratification. So there's lots of great positives. But we are definitely seeing that some of the team members that left with COVID have really been slow to come back, and some may not come back. And so the environment has become really competitive between practices to fill their spots and to woo team members from one practice to another.
Yeah. And here's the thing, even though there's so many issues when it comes to staffing in our practices, the same problems exist. They didn't go away, right? Like some of our team members went away, but we still had problems, right? The big problem being, well, how do people pay for their treatment? How do you collect money that's owed to you? And how do you make it easy, especially now you have newer team members, to present treatment? Because here's the thing, we still have those issues. We still have to deal with it. And now, especially now, with the way the economy's going, knock on wood, hopefully all the stuff that we're hearing on the news is just a bunch of people just trying to get some ratings and whatnot. But let's just entertain for a second that they are correct, and we're running into some issues when it comes to economics. We need to have more options. People need more options to pay for the work they need. I don't care if the economy's bad or not. You got issues with your teeth. That's not going away. We already know that, right? So with that being said, before we talk about those platforms, some people might not know who you are. They might not have seen the last Facebook Live you're on. But talk about your background. You were with a really, really big financing company on the orthodontic side. So talk about your background there and how it's translating to what you do with OrthoFI/CFI now.
Yeah, so I've been in the dental industry in the ortho industry for the last 15 years, but total in the dentistry over 20 years.
Gosh.
And I've been involved on the clinical side, developing great clinical technologies and medical devices. But most recently, for the last 10 years, I've really been delving into the financial side. And, as part of OrthoFI, our mission, which lines up beautifully with what CFI was doing, which why we joined up with them, is all about making patient care more affordable and more accessible, and making sure that doctors get paid for what great work they do that they've earned. And that is really what our platform of products and services is all about.
And, that's why I was super excited when I heard that you were coming on when OrthoFI and CFI kind of came together like Voltron, right? Came together and we created this awesome thing because, you came from an era where, you had to be pretty creative when you're doing financing for ortho, right? It's not like a treatment that's done, like you come in and you get it done right away. It's extended period of time and keeping the payments and keeping track of everything. I love the fact that when you came on, you brought that experience, because again, a lot of doctors are wondering like, okay, well, I have this, my financing, and I only have a couple of things for financing. And if the patients can't finance it, what am I supposed to do? Which is going to lead us into the first thing. Again, I put those three things about, we talked about presenting treatment. We talked about getting the patients, helping them be able to pay. And we talk about collecting the money. So we're going to do a little backwards. The treatment plan presentation portion, you guys are going to have to wait for that. I know you love that stuff. But let's talk about how do we help them pay for the work? I'm going to share my screen here. So first thing here that we have up here is compassionate finance. And so some of you guys maybe have heard of compassionate finance. Maybe some of you guys have used it before. I know a lot of you guys know of it, but not sure if it's right for you. Well, here's your opportunity to listen in. So Oliver, talk about how compassionate finance kind of bridges that gap for patients who, for one reason or another, can't afford the treatment they need. There's an opportunity for us to help them out.
So I want to back up and just mention the fact that on the dental side of the industry, keeping in mind that on the orthodontic side, nearly 100% of treatment is financed by the practice. And it's a thriving business with a very low, default rate. And that's how that industry has evolved. On the dental side, it's evolved very differently. And in my opinion, from having, worked with and started almost 1 million patients and managing over $500 million of AR right now, having processed over $5 billion of production, we have enough data and we have enough know-how to know how things should work. But on the dental side, it's a little bit broken. And with all of the financing options and so many different financing companies and lenders that are out there, the truth is the average dental practice is only getting 34% of their treatment accepted. And so all of these companies that are touting 87% approval rates are some good marketing claims, but they don't actually translate to patient acceptance. So that's really what Compassionate was designed to do. Because, when you see that, the average lender out there today is rejecting anywhere from 40 to 60% of applications, it really leaves the treatment coordinator and the doctor in the practice in a very uncomfortable and awkward position. And so what our company is all about is to make sure that we're getting as close to 100% approval as humanly possible. And Compassionate is a tool in that arsenal. So whether you're using it primarily because you realize that giving up 10 to 15% of your hard-earned fee is not necessary, and that with the interest that you earn and the low default rates that you can actually net much more on your fees by doing in-house financing, or whether you want to use it as a supplement with third-party financing so that you make sure that every patient has an offer before they leave your practice without having to give you large down payments or very large pay in full sums that most people cannot afford. So that's what it's all about, is making it more accessible and affordable.
Yeah, no, I love that. Again, not everyone is going to qualify for traditional financing. You need to have opportunity. You need to have something else for your patients, because again, it's one thing to get the patient to understand the treatment. It's another thing for them to also have the means to do that. And I love the fact that compassionate finance is a tool that, it's been around for a while, but people are now kind of understanding the need to have something like that. And again, guys, I don't have a crystal ball here, right? I can't tell you what's going to happen in the future. I can guarantee you that if you don't have a way for your patient to pay for their treatment, they're not going to get the treatment done. Like, you can hammer it away in their head about how much they need something, but if they don't have the means, what are they supposed to do, right? And the person, the clinician, the office that offers you that opportunity to be able to pay for your treatment, they're the ones that's going to get the treatment here. But hey, you know what? Maybe you didn't have compassion before, and maybe you were just doing like a sticky note financing, right? Sticky note finance is like, oh, okay, Mr. Jones, you owe me like $300 and like, I'll call you next week. Maybe you were doing that. And now you have a mess on your hand. It's called AR, right? You have an AR mess on your hands. And now you don't even know what to do. You're yelling at your team. You're telling them to call these patients. They might be doing it. They might not be doing it. But Oliver, there is an easy button. There is a way, right? And again, we're going to go into the next thing that, again, Oliver's with the company that he's with. He's the CMO of this company that has all these great solutions, and Abella's that solution. So talk about Abella here.
Yeah, Abella is a super exciting product, and it's really a no-brainer for most practices, especially if you've got a practice that's over $1.5 million in production or with multiple locations where things get really complicated. Because when it comes to your AR, and I'm not even bringing in the whole staffing issue, right? If you've lost key staffing in this area, you probably are, floating around without a paddle a little bit. But what tends to happen most often with AR is it's not so much even the payment plans that you are consciously aware of. A lot of AR accumulates from, sort of like seeping in from the walls, right? Where you've got co-pays that were uncollected, or you have insurance underpays, which happen more frequently than we'd all like, that seep in. And all of these things happen without either the practice or the patient being aware of them when they happened. And they're not point of sale types of transactions where your team could have collected it when they happened. And so that's why the average practice is currently carrying about $50,000 of 90-plus day AR. And it happens accumulating over time. And because of there are these relatively lots of these small amounts, it's not really easy for the team. They don't get motivated to go out and collect it. And you often need to go and follow up several times. And unfortunately, and this is where like kind of the punchline is that the tools that we have historically conventionally used to go out and collect are the paper statement or the phone call.
Yeah, that dreaded phone call.
Neither of which work. People are screening their calls today more than ever. Just source yourself. I know I do. If I don't recognize a phone number, it's going to voicemail at best. And when it comes to paper statements, people don't really respond to that. So you've got to modernize and you've got to automate your systems so that you can do this. And that's what Abella is all about, is that we use modern multi-channel communication techniques to reach out to patients on a regular, sustainable, consistent basis. We're courteous and consistent with emails and texts, and we're able to get patients to pay directly from their phones. And it happens incredibly quickly, where patients have an easy interface. They can click and pay. And the beautiful thing about Abella is we're able to go out and look for all your outstanding AR at once and do it in large batches. So it's not even something that your team has to one at a time activate Abella on. Abella is integrated with all of the major leading management systems to go out and look for all of your outstanding AR and immediately put in place and implement an automated multi-channel communication stream that is going to start bringing in surprising amounts of AR as soon as you turn it on. We've had many practices say, in fact, that it almost worked too well in the first few weeks, that they had to throttle it back because of how many either patients were calling or how much of the payment was coming in within even the first week. Even before a statement could have even landed in their mailbox, they're already receiving it and paying it.
Well, you brought up something really interesting, because a lot of times when we think about outstanding AR, we're thinking that, hey, maybe the patient did something. They just didn't want to pay. They're like a deadbeat, right? Like, that's why we have that. But you brought up something interesting, that a lot of times it's kind of like our fault, right? Like, we didn't realize something happened and the patient owes money and they want to pay. Like, they want to pay. It's not like they're trying not to pay. But think about this. I mean, if you have all these patients that want to pay and they don't know, and you don't know what ends up happening, you have all that money just sitting there, just getting uncollected, right?
That's right.
And so again, so there's so many platforms, guys, and I understand, you guys are probably watching this right now and you're thinking like, well, man, I already have something for reminders. I have someone doing my website. I have all these things, but I want to tell you guys something, right? And all those things are very important. But Abella is going to give you an instant ROI that no one else will, right? This is money that is owed to you. Like, we're not trying to convince anybody. We're just making it easier for, and especially if you don't have, if you're short on staff, Oliver, you work with so many practices, right? When it comes to, hey, are you going to send these statements out? Or are you going to greet a patient? What takes precedence, right? Greeting the patient, right? So again,
as it should.
They should take care of the patient, or I don't know, like turning the lights on or something, right? So again, but what ends up happening is just because they can't get to it doesn't mean it's essential. This is super important. And again, you were saying on average, what are some of the statistics? Like on average, how much is this money that's kind of laying around that's getting uncollected? You were saying earlier, what's the average amount?
The average amount per practice is $50,000 in just 90+ day AR.
Wow. And what happens, Oliver? What happens when it gets beyond that date?
Well, the further it gets beyond that date, the less collectible it is. And the reason why I know that is if you listen to any accounting firm or any of the DSO partner firms that do evaluation, they are automatically discounting any of your 90+ day AR to 50%.
Wow.
So any amount that you collect, any dollar that you collect, you just got an extra 50 cents from what you would have been valued at had you been marketing your practice to, for sale or to join a DSO. So, aside from just getting the money in, it has a lot of really other important applications for a lot of practices out there.
Guys, so here's the thing. Again, there's so many things that there's, like, as a practice owner, I'm a practice owner as well. There's a lot of things that you need to put resources towards, right? This is one of the things, and I am speaking as a user of everything that we're talking about here. This makes my job easier because it makes my team's job easier. And I'm not all, like, breathing down their neck asking, like, what's going on with this AR? Have you sent these statements out? Have you called? No, they're working with Abella. That it's keeping up with the right technology. So guys, if you have an AR issue, if you're not even sure if you have an AR issue, I implore you to reach out to Oliver and his team and just look, right? Like, hey, don't take my word for it, right? When you come in here and they talk to you and you do a deep dive, you're going to be appalled, and it's okay. No one's going to get mad at you. You don't want to let this keep festering. Okay, so we talked about how you're going to give your patients an opportunity to pay. We talked about, well, if you haven't been keeping up with your AR, how you can get that money that's owed. That, again, you literally might be sitting on a gold mine. You don't even know about it, right? And now we're going to talk about something new that, again, last time you guys saw Oliver here, we were talking about this. And if you didn't sign up to be a beta tester, man, you kind of missed out because it's really awesome, but you still can be involved. And I want to show you this next thing. And AcceptCare. So again, if you guys don't know what AcceptCare is, hey, hit the rewind button later and watch the Facebook Live that Oliver was on here a few months back. Okay, he's going to explain everything, but we're going to give you the Cliff Notes version and why you need to get on the wait list. So Oliver, again, I'm going to let you do it because you do it so much better than I do. What is AcceptCare? And I worked with you guys for months upon months. A lot of really smart people worked on this months upon months. And I was just so excited about it. But let everyone know, for those who don't know, what is AcceptCare and what does it do for dental practices?
So AcceptCare is something we're incredibly excited about. It has a chance to really turn a lot of things on their head. Starting with the fact that it's not really, yes, it includes and it has within it, nested within it, a platform, a competitive platform of lenders that offer financing. But that is really only a piece. It is essentially really a case acceptance engine. And so really what we've done here is we've created a software solution that reprioritizes the patient and makes the patient the most important stakeholder in the process, which is what they have always been.
Yeah.
Currently, what's out there, all of the environment has been dictated, all the rules have been dictated and created, and all the consciousness around how to offer financing has been created by lenders. Lenders are people that we need. We need them as partners. We need people to get financing, but we are making them the entity that competes for the patient. And so what we're going to be able to offer through AcceptCare is everything you can imagine that you would want to present to a patient. Our software is going to present pay in full options, which we would love for practices to get. You're going to be able to offer your short-term financing plan. So if you want to offer a patient 4 equal easy payments without them having to mess with the whole form, they're going to be able to see those options. And then, of course, if the patient needs something even more affordable, with one application, they're going to be able to be exposed to a network of competing lenders who are going to approve them for a host of different payment plan options, and the patient has the power to choose based on their budgetary needs. So rather than it being a yes or no, will you possibly accept me? And if you don't, I have to tuck my tail between my legs and go home and think about whether I want to submit myself for another application. You are going to get approved as a patient for some option. And that includes inside of it compassionate finance. Yeah. So where compassionate finance was a one-off option, if you wanted to do more in-house financing or if you wanted to use it as a supplement, it essentially is inside of this platform so that no matter what, a patient is going to get approved for complete care. And that's what is the most exciting thing that we have going right now.
I absolutely love it. And again, just to let you guys know, we did a Facebook Live not too long ago, right? Oliver and I, and we were talking about AcceptCare, and we offered a select few to become beta testers. And if you guys missed out, it's okay. But I'm telling you right now, from the feedback of all the beta testers, it's been tremendous. Like, they cannot wait until this is integrated with everything they're doing. They love it because really it makes the team members, their job so much easier. It actually enables every team member to be able to present these financing options. And I don't know about you, but most practices, they have someone who's designated for that, right? That they're the expert that knows all the financing options. They know everything and they have to do it, right? Well, what happens, guys, if that person leaves your practice? There's a possibility, right? A lot of things happen, right? Well, with AcceptCare, it's next person up. It's that easy. And again, it makes it so much easier because I've seen patients, like, when you talk about financing and their treatment plan, their eyes like glaze over, like they are totally lost. Like, you lost them. This is pretty straightforward. You want A, B, C, or D, right? A, B, C, or D, right? You let them choose. They choose it. They're cool with it because it's their choice. So I cannot wait. But here's the thing. There's an opportunity. So Oliver, for the people who missed out on the beta testers, they're probably kicking themselves. It's okay, because there's an opportunity. And talk about like the opportunity here. There's a URL. If you see this right now, make sure you screenshot this or write it down. I'll put it in the comments section. But if they go to this landing page and they fill out this form, what is the opportunity we have for them?
Yeah, just go to get.acceptcare.com. That is the easiest way that you can access all of this. And basically, you just give us your information. We're going to accumulate a list of pre-launch VIPs that are going to get all the information about what's going on in the beta. You're going to get special launch pricing, special launch availability. Your practice will be one of the first practices to be able to use this. And we're going to be in our beta. One of the key things is it's not a beta, in this case, is not just to make sure the product works and that there's no bugs and that you don't click and get a cat, a cat picture. We're measuring pre and post case acceptance numbers. We believe that this product is going to dramatically increase the dollars of production per case accepted, because we're going to be able to do complete care. So there's a number of things that we're going to make you aware of in terms of how this beta is going and what are the performance metrics that we're seeing to get everyone excited. And all you got to do is to give us some information, and you're just going to get some cool emails, and you'll be ready to go when we launch early next year.
And again, guys, you want to get in on that because you get the preferential pricing, but also the feedback that you may have, they're going to hear it first. maybe there's certain things that you want, and there's a bunch of you guys saying the same thing. It's going to happen. Now, if you wait till later, it might not happen because pretty much the platform is almost done. But if you get in early enough, you share that feedback, it really is going to be something that's customized to your practice. I mean, you're going to be a part of that. And again, the pricing, right? You can't deny that, the preferential pricing there. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to put that in the comments. But before we tie things up, I do want to share something here. And, I'm going to put Oliver on the spot because he's just been a great supporter of the Nifty Thrifty group. I'm actually about to release something that no one knows about. I'm going to announce it right here. But I want to say that OrthoFI and CFI and Oliver and one of my really big mentors, Dr. Bruce Baird, made this happen here. So I'm launching a dental magazine. He hasn't seen it yet. I'm going to show it right now. Hold on. Here we go. There we go. So that's a magazine right there. I want to kind of move through here because I want to show you a little bit, not too much, but I'm going to this page because Dr. Bruce Baird is a mentor of mine. He's also worked really hard with, we both worked really hard on the AcceptCare with Compassionate Finance and Abella. And again, and want to give a shout out to them. And just to let you guys know, this is coming out pretty soon, but they were really instrumental in this. So thank you so much, OrthoFI, CFI group, everyone over at Abella, AcceptCare, and Compassionate Finance as well. So guys, if you're like me and was mentored by Dr. Bruce Baird and followed him, there's a lot of great stuff he's talking about. And we talked about AcceptCare. We talked about how that's going to kind of keep things moving in the future of dentistry. So this will be coming out next week. You guys will get a link there. If you happen to be at the ADA, you're going to get a copy right there. But if you want a physical copy mailed to you, I'm not going to be like these other magazines that just spam you with junk mail. I'm going to send you stuff if you want it. So there'll be an opt-in page. You'll opt in there and you'll get this. And of course, there's going to be a lot of information about AcceptCare and whatnot. So anyways, I wanted a quick shout out there, but yeah, this is something I'm really proud about. And again, super happy that Dr. Baird was a part of it. And of course, Oliver being really instrumental in that. So thank you so much, guys. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled. That's going to be coming out pretty soon. But Oliver, so again, for all those things that we just talked about, obviously there's a landing page for AcceptCare, but as far as Abella and Compassionate Finance, what's the best way? What's the best way for our members to, hey, they want to see if it fits in their practice. They want to reach out. What's the best way to reach out to you guys?
Best way is just to go to any one of those websites, depending on what you're interested in. CompassionateFinance.com, AbellaAR.com, and AcceptCare, get.acceptcare.com. If either one of those, any one of those solutions you feel will take your practice to where it needs to go in the next quarter, in the next year, in the next few years, I encourage you to go to those sites and to give us your information, and we will get back to you promptly and schedule some time for our team to go through all the solutions with you.
Awesome. Oliver, thank you so much for jumping on. Guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to put all the links in the comments, especially for AcceptCare. You want to get on that pre-launch list because you don't want to miss out. You already missed out on the betas, right? You don't want to miss out on this. And of course, Compassionate Finance, Abella, give your patients an opportunity to be able to pay for their treatment, but also you're sitting on a gold mine, guys. All right, gold mine of things that you earned. That's money you earned. So just remember, you earned that money. And it would be a shame if you let it go. And again, anything past 90 days, the statistics show that you're not going to get that money, right? It's gone, right? It's gone. So you don't want that to happen. So Oliver, thank you so much for jumping on. Guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, Glenn. Thanks for having me.